Taeni Zamulungu, Taeni Zamulungu, Alombaye ni Mulungu, Alombaye ni Mulungu, Taeni Zamulungu, Taeni Zamulungu, Taeni Zamulungu, Abolwaye ni Mulungu, Abolwaye ni Mulungu, Taeni Zamulungu.
Founded in 1974 by the late Mr. H.J. Paurana, ARM Cement Limited, formerly Athi River Mining, has grown tremendously, driven by the economic, infrastructure and development goals of the country. It has since expanded to Tanzania, Rwanda and South Africa to become one of East Africa's leading cement and industrial mineral manufacturers.
We are essentially an industrial mineral mining company which processes the minerals into value-added products. Over the last 40 years, the only thing which has changed is that the degree of value addition has increased. We sincerely believe as a company that the Kenyan economy should be driven by value-added industries to create the employment opportunities for a young nation like us. We are a company whose revenue has grown 20 times in the last 15 years, profitability 30 times, and the market cap has grown 50 times.
It is this investment in technology and good business practice over the last 40 years by which ARM has currently grown to be the 12th largest company on the Nairobi Stock Exchange.
There's a quality called alpha. Alpha is when a share price outperforms maybe the stock market where it's listed. If you look at the stock market as a whole and you compare an individual share, if it's outperforming the stock market, it's called alpha. And one thing you can say about ARM, it's got a lot of alpha. When the market is crumbling here, its price behavior is something that consistently sends a message of confidence to its shareholders. What it means is if you invest with Pradeep, you're not going to go up and down 20%. You're going to be within a tighter band. And that, to anybody who's making an investment, is a very positive thing.
We have invested in capacity. We have invested in human resources development. We have invested in technology. And all this has helped us to be one of the lowest cost manufacturers of our products in the region. It has helped us to be a market leader. The Tanzanian plant, in terms of capacity, is 3 times as big as the Kenyan plant. The Kenyan plant is 1,500 tons per day, which results into a 600,000 tons per annum cement plant. The Tanzanian plant is 4,500 tons per day cement plant with the capacity to produce close to 5,500 tons of cement.
I started my career in Athi River Mining, and this was the first mill which was operating by then. It was producing only 500 kilo per hour. But now is a great achievement that we can now produce 150 tons per hour.
Cement is actually a chemical reaction which takes place between 4 or 5 elements. It is limestone, it is clay, it is shale, it is iron ore and bauxite. Now all these minerals react at a temperature of 1400 degrees centigrade to produce what we call clinker. Clinker is semi-finished cement. Clinker is then blended with pozzolana and gypsum to produce the cement which we use in our daily lives. Where ARM has invested is getting world-class technology in a fully automated plant which can control the chemical reaction to precision and produce superior quality clinker and superior quality cement. We have post and pre-audit quality checks in our manufacturing system. We use internal laboratories to do the internal controls, but we also use independent laboratories to establish that what is being done is correct and confirmed. What these independent laboratories do is that they carry out tests on the chemical composition of the clinker, on the strength of the cement. They also do concrete mix designs, and they also carry out tests on the workability of the cement. Now, the results which we get from them confirm what we have already tested in our laboratory and the fact that we are producing a superior quality cement.
If you look back there and you look where you are today, it's been an extraordinary journey of value creation, right? I mean, I can't remember what the listing value was, but we are a multiple of that. And I think that's exactly what you're looking for. You're looking for growth when you're an equity investor. You want a company that's going to expand, that's going to seize an opportunity. And I think the story with ARM is its ability to do exactly that, an ability to grow, as I said, in a very linear manner, and at the same time seize these big opportunities that are there. The current expansion, which is dramatically transforming the organization, as you mentioned, the cement capacity that's coming on stream, I think that's exactly the right thing to do. I think, Pradeep has never not bet on growth. And I think the story about our region is that this is that time when you want to have your chips on the table, because we are going to grow. We might have a few bumps on the road, but that is the right bet.
Today, the company not only owes its success to the dynamic leadership it is governed by, but also to the proactive involvement of all of its stakeholders and the entrepreneurial partnership started and developed by the late Mzee.
The communities where our plants are located are stakeholders. As such, the company has a responsibility to look into their welfare.
We live in a new century of collaboration. You've got to be cognizant of the community that you're operating within. And therefore, I think, the CSI program, the Social Responsibility Investment Program that ARM is pursuing, which is 1.5% of their revenues, I think that's a wonderful thing. And I think there's a lot of collateral benefits that come back.
Rhino Cement Foundation was set up a couple of years ago to channel our investment in the communities that we worked with. The three pillars of our investments were in health, education and environment. Under health, we're supporting dispensaries in the communities that we work in.
We have a pharmacy, a well-equipped pharmacy. We have the capacity to do small surgery. We have an ultrasound machine. And we have got a very, very good laboratory. The clinic has been built and constructed and equipped entirely for the people of Kaloleni. It is a community-based clinic.
You may have a good education, but if healthcare is not available in the first place, education is also very difficult.
The foundation spends about 10 million annually on scholarships to secondary and university students. The educational fund is also used for building classrooms at secondary and primary schools.
Rabai district has 40 primary schools, and most of the schools are built by parents. Most of the schools need the facelifting. They also need books. They need very many things to help them in their education. So thank you, ARM, for what you're doing. Please, if you get more donors, bring them to Rabai so they may help in infrastructure of the schools.
There's a school which we are very proud of in Kiambu, which was completed last year, and we are very proud of it.
We promote education by sponsoring or running a bursary scheme. The Rhino Semen Foundation has a very, very strong bursary scheme, and our employees are involved in identifying beneficiaries.
I'm in Form 4 and I've been in this school for 4 years now. I came to this school through the Rhino Cement Foundation. Through sponsoring my education, they've also given us mentors whom we are free to talk to.
I feel that these girls are going to get to a position where they're going to be able to help somebody else, which is ultimately what the Rhino Cement Foundation is looking to do, to be able to build the community through building individuals so they can come back, bring back what they get out there and build others.
Our internship program is pegged on 2 critical areas. One of it is to collaborate with institutes of higher education within Kenya, and especially the technical institutes. And secondly, we want to create a pool of potential employees.
For environment, this is really a continuation of one of the great loves of the late Mzee. He was very close to the environment. So much so that when you go to Kaloleni, you find a dam which he got dug and stocked with fish for the local community to fish. The foundation gives free seedlings to the local community to help with reclamation of our destroyed forests.
My role currently is to oversee and coordinate the mining operations. The company, being environmental conscious, has a forestry and rehabilitation program because the company appreciates that for any economic activity to take place, the environment must be influenced in one way or the other. We want to make it possible that today and tomorrow our grandchildren, our children will be able to appreciate the environment that it was before we started mining. The rehabilitation is continuing in tandem with the mining activity.
We're supporting the Nairobi Ngong Forest, for example. We built the education center there many years ago, and we have a full-time teacher at the Nairobi Ngong Forest Sanctuary who looks after visitors and children.
The sanctuary is a carbon sink and provides the lungs, the oxygen that the city needs, as does Karura Forest on the other side. And if we let this go to waste, then we won't have any lungs left.
Wildlife in this country is a great asset.
When a Maasai child sees a rhino, he sees schools and education. When a Borana old man sees an elephant, he sees dispensaries and healthcare. And I thought to myself, this is conservation helps education, healthcare, and conservation is about environment. So it really fits in with all the three pillars of Rhino Cement Foundation.
From Lewa's perspective, it's always been pretty clear to us that Kenyans across the country need to recognise the value of wildlife and the value of conservation, and it's something that Lewa's been working very, very hard to achieve and to demonstrate that value to Kenyans over the last 20 years. And I think we've succeeded in North Kenya, and having a partner like ARM come in with Pradeep to support the work we're doing reinforces the message, not only at a local community level but at a corporate level, that corporates recognise that they can bring additional value to this process. They can leverage funding and support to this process, and it draws the full circle. It develops that full circle. We've got communities, we've got conservation organisations, and now we've got corporates, Kenyan corporates, involved in a Kenyan solution to a Kenyan problem.
2014 celebrates our 40th anniversary in the region, and as we move towards the future, ARM Cement will continue its growth across Africa. This growth will allow the Rhino Cement Foundation to continue its investment in building communities through health, education, and environment, and as such, keeping up with the spirit of the legacy of Mzee Paurana in building Africa.